Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Netflix is the latest in what is absolutely unequivocally something which we all could have predicted. Netflix's world has been turned upside down as stock plunges 35%. It has lost an awful lot of money. Now, the first quarter of the year, it was expecting to actually grow by 2.5 million new users, but it lost 200,000. Now, there's a few reasons for that, and it would be disingenuous for not pointing them out. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate slightly and say, well, Netflix said it's because it's closed up shop in places like Russia. Sure, maybe. But it's also, ladies and gentlemen, to do with things like this. He's expecting. Okay, you know that peak question that's being asked, to most politicians currently, what is a woman? Yeah, these kind of things are starting to fall apart. This is quite hot on people's minds at the moment. So he's expecting it's a unique comedy drama series. Alright, yeah, sure, because that's definitely not going to impact people's opinions of the service. Oh yeah, what was this? Dear white people, I bet you think this show is about you. Sure, yeah, well, the average audience member didn't like it either. And then we have CNN Business. I thought I would cover CNN Business because it's just funny, the cope that they run on this. So let's take a look. I mean, we know why this is happening. It doesn't even need to be said, right? It doesn't need to be said, but we're going to, of course. So the company reported Tuesday that it lost subscribers for the first time in more than a decade, which is really crazy. Now, the news shocked Wall Street and sent shares plummeting 35% Wednesday morning. It would actually wipe out 50 billion in market cap. So it lost the worth of the company, dropped by 50 billion. And this was after the company's stock had dropped more than 40% year to date. So it had already gone down, and now it's lost 50 billion in market cap. So Netflix has a terrible, disastrous 2022 currently. And that's also to jump on the back end of them coming out and stating, we're going to be charging people now for password sharing. If you're using multiple Netflix profiles in different households, from the same account, we're going to charge you extra. I think in the UK they're saying it's about £2 something. So what's that, like near $5? Not good. Once bullish experts and analysts who viewed Netflix as the linchpin of a transforming entertainment industry are now concerned about its growth going forward. No shit. Well, ladies and gents, when you stagnate on ideological grounds, it's no wonder that it's going to be not growing anywhere forward. These kind of topics here, this stuff is pandering to the tiniest of minorities. Capitalism will win here. If you're not appealing to the mass market, the majority, then they're going to zone out. And that seems to have been what's happening because people are leaving. They even said they expect to lose more subscribers. So let's get into it, right? They're wondering what the future of the company and all streaming might look like. It's not about all streaming. All streaming will actually do alright. If another company comes out and goes, you know what, sod this crap, we're just going to make some good, hearty, down-to-earth products, they'll win. Counter programming, it wins all the time. What worked until this point may not be working anymore. The world's changed. CNN, why can't you get to the root cause of why it's going down? How do they turn the ship around? Oh, let's have a look. Let's see what cope they run. Netflix said Tuesday that it lost 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter of 2022. Now, 200,000 out of 221 million global subscriptions may seem like little more than a rounding error, but consider that the service was expected to add 2.5 million new users in the first 3 months of the year, a low bar that had already spooked investors in January. As if that wasn't bad enough, Netflix said it expects to lose another 2 million in the current quarter. So they expect to lose even more. Now let's check this out. So they blame competition, widespread password sharing. Now I'll tell you what, guys, if you clamp down on password sharing, you're going to lose the people that are sharing out their passwords. So that's dumb. In its letter to investors Tuesday, Netflix also pointed fingers at macro factors that are affecting many companies right now, such as sluggish economic growth, increasing inflation, geopolitical events such as Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and some continued disruption from COVID. Yeah, it couldn't possibly be because you're putting out this shite. I couldn't possibly be, could it? No, it's got to be. It's Putin's fault. Putin's fault. What? Of course it is. Pulling out of Russia alone cost the company 700,000 subscribers, Netflix said, but even without that, the company still would have missed its own expectations by nearly 2 million. So they haven't even included the 700,000 subscribers in the 200,000 that they lost. It's not really it then, is it? That ain't it, Chief. So Zach Sheikh, Vice President of Programming at research-based media firm Majid, believes Netflix needs to answer two questions to change its current narrative. How do they turn the ship around and start increasing subs again? And how do they generate more revenue per sub? I think it comes down, as it often does, to content. Yeah, you're damn right it does. Netflix just has to remember what made it so special was that of the type of content and volume of content you couldn't get anywhere else. That's the value proposition they need to return to. I can watch crap like this anywhere. This is everywhere. This is everywhere. I don't pay for a streaming service to be preached to about this nonsense. I'm good. Thank you very much. But it's not as easy as flipping a switch, no matter how many billions Netflix spends on coursing big talent and funding spectacular productions. If making great content was easy, everyone would be doing it. No, sure. They say spending more doesn't equal hits. Everyone's spending more. You'd be spending more on garbage. Now, they continue on to say stuff like this, right? Oh, you know, stranger things are happening. Another area that could help Netflix, advertising. No, everyone knows Netflix. It's literally the meme of inviting a girl around from Tinder and boning her. All right, let's go Netflix and chill, right? Like, everyone knows what Tinder is. Everyone knows what Netflix is, right? Everyone knows. Think of us as quite open to offering even lower prices with advertising, Hastings said during Tuesday's post-earnings call. Adding a cheaper advertising tier is already happening across the streaming marketplace. Now, this is... So, they talk about advertising, but they also talk about advertising, i.e. they're going to include a cheaper version of Netflix where they include adverts. Can you... No. So you're going to be earning money from me and also advertising this. Advertising on content like this. Garbage. We know that consumers don't have a problem with advertising as long as it's cheaper and that there is no commercial option too. That said, with advertising comes certain content restrictions, and that's something they may want to avoid. Ultimately, they need to ensure they have the content that the consumers want and then ensure that they are monetizing that in the best way possible. Funny. But again, remember the cope. Netflix collapse is a warning sign for stocks. No, it's not. Just stop producing garbage. Stop producing trash. That's all it's a warning to. Stop producing garbage. That's it. That's it. Stop it. Stop making crap. Make good stuff again. Spend money on good stuff. Stop cancelling the stuff that people want to watch. Buy good stuff. And they start talking about this, you know, food and energy are people's priorities right now. Not watching Stranger Things. No, people still want escapism. I guarantee you that. If they've got a Netflix account, they're still going to want escapism. And they'll keep their escapism route. Because that's what some people just do with their evenings. That's all they do. They just watch stuff. And that's perfectly reasonable. If that's what you want to do with your time, no worries. But if you don't include content which people want to watch, then you are not their form of escapism. And that's what it comes down to. People have, people's escapism comes in many, many forms, ladies and gents. It could be watching Netflix. It could be going and driving a car. It could be gardening. It could be baking. I mean, there's so many things. But if Netflix isn't providing a form of escapism that people want to engage in, they will tune out and they will think, well, my, £15 or whatever it is, $20, whatever it is best served elsewhere. So there you go, ladies and gents. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comment section. Netflix is on the verge of collapse, genuinely. To lose 50 billion, 35% down. Yeah, that's quite a lot, ladies and gents. That's quite a lot. What we need is someone to come in and clean up house. So what do you think? Let me know down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Please do stay tuned for more. Turn those bell notifications on. And if you want to support the channel further, we've got memberships and we've got Patreon. That's linked in the description box along with my second channel. That's right. I have a second channel. You might like it. Some people really do, actually. So check that out down below. Cheers there, guys. Take care.